some Tekken news to get into. Harada has been online and hitting us with a bunch of information. So there's nothing like, there's no new trailer or anything like that. This we've got our fill of trailers of characters, but we do have a fill of this ad break that we have to get into first before we talk about what Harada is doing. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. All right, and we are back. So, like we said before we went into that break, Tekken got a little bit of, like I said, kind of like some pseudo info, no trailers, nothing. We're still going to be doing a kind of Tekken-based episode because we did want to talk about the system mechanics more, but we do want to bring in some of our Tekken homies to do that. That's probably going to end up being a segment we're going to do a kind of like a pre-show on, a pre-recorded show on. But in the meantime, though, there's just been a couple things just going around with Harada and just, you know, taking to Twitter to talk about it. It's been really interesting over the past couple of days. So Harada's been asked, or, you know, pretty transparent with everyone online when it comes to questions, tends to reach out, he'll tweet back, or he'll quote tweet you and answer you and such. And there's just been a bunch of different things kind of thrown in. Yeah. One of the things that kind of came out was about character launch, like the character launch roster. Someone asked, how many characters should we expect for Tekken 8 at launch? And Harada then actually posts saying, I think it's more than Capcom sound, as in Street Fighter. Of course, character modeling, rigging, and costume design are all new assets, so it's a lot of hard work. That's why we try to increase the number of launches. With Tekken 7, I believe it was 35 on launch. And Tekken's got like some very unique characters.
That's the move pool is huge.
The move pools, the animations, the assets, then all the assets you put on top of the assets, right? The hats, the everything. It's a lot. Like, yeah, it's a lot to do, but coming out swinging with a really big pool is gonna be awesome. But you kind of have to, like I said, Tekken has, I think right now we have 12, I believe 12 confirmed right now. Which still shy, of course, that 35, but saying more than Street Fighter 6, which Street Fighter 6 has, is it 18? Is it 18 right now? You have the original 8, you get the OG 8.
Website.
Yeah, go check out on the website. But yeah, so Harada did say more than Street Fighter at this moment, but I can only imagine, you know, how many more characters they're trying to really come out the gate swinging with, because they're all dumb unique. They're all really dumb unique. It is 18. Got him. Man, I'm good.
Yes.
So yeah, 35 for Tekken 7, 18 coming out for Street Fighter 6, not including all the DLC. Obviously, that's going to be coming out. But Tekken 7 with that kind of number, it's like, that's solid. That's good. It's expected for the game that it is. Someone else tweeted out, what else? Actually, I got to move this over real quick. There we go. Someone else tweeted out, what piece was it? Oh, that was the design aspect of it. Oh, rollback. Which this was, I thought was interesting. Yeah, will there be rollback, right? That's the $1 million question. We were just talking about that with Strive, with everything else. He just took to Twitter nonchalantly, like, already installed it and already has what you want. The reason why we don't make big announcements like crossplay is because even if we make big announcements, people like you will always say things like, what? That's normal in this day and age. So shut up and sit the hell down. Damn. Which, no, whoa. Like, basically in the most Harada way possible, he's just saying, like, this is like, it's the norm. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. This is new gen. Like, we know it's new gen. I guess it's not through people's heads enough that, like, you know, the developers have definitely been hearing us bitch and complain and all that for forever now about it. But yeah, it's like, well, we're not gonna make it a big deal because it's expected. But on the other side, I get it. If like, we just want that reinsurance, dog. Because guess what? Dragon Ball FighterZ still doesn't have that rollback, and it's had rollback announced for so long, and it's like what? And it's like, there's no way. Like, how do you swing and miss that hard? But
yeah, it's really sad where it's going, because we were talking about having some sort of announcement in March, the beginning of March, end of February, And they just said, we're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it. We're already coming up on Evo in August.
Yeah, we're already
it was initially announced.
Yeah.
And still nothing. Like, there's no other events coming up for Dragon Ball.
Can you see why we're a little like, And remember, this is Bandai Namco too. They're in part of this. It's like, can you see why we kind of just want to hear it? We just want to hear it from your mouth. Just say it. Right. If I say I love you, I want you to say it back to me, please.
It's almost like
you.
There's, yeah, right? It's almost like you just said you too. What do you mean? No, that's a band. No.
Yeah.
It's almost as if like Bandai Namco is doing too much right now. They're working on too many things.
I mean,
it's like, do you put Dragon Ball in the back burner while you work on Tekken 8 when we don't even have a release date? I didn't mean to make that rhyme.
And you're working on Tekken X Street Fighter, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Right. Are you still at 30%? Are you at 31%?
Akuma that they just threw in
there,
God.
You think they'll add Akuma back?
I think the Akuma was across the Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
You think that was it? That's all we're getting?
Yeah.
Like, listen, this is the 30%. It was one character.
Right.
Damn.
And just the reception of Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah.
I mean, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, we obviously know, came out at a wrong time for the game itself. I mean, Street Fighter 4 was just not dead yet.
Nope. It was not. So, besides this, there was one other piece of Tekken news that kind of went down, which once again came from the developers themselves. It was actually, we've been no strangers to saying like how good it looks, right? Like already, the amount of muscle flexing, the vascularness of our characters, and just the backgrounds. Also, the backgrounds are godlike. It all looks great. But funny enough, producers aren't very, very happy with the state right now. And in an article, this is Tekken Gamer, the website Tekken Gamer, stated, there's Michael Murray and Harada talking about it. This quoted in, it seems like most game companies can achieve a high level quality regarding the textures that they use or the shaders or some kind of basic components. We really like, what really kind of sets them apart. Sorry, I couldn't read that right. This time for this generation is also UE5, Unreal Engine 5, is the lighting. And it's been very difficult for us to fine tune. Even the build you have here today, you have hands-on with, I believe, we're not very happy with the state of the graphics at the moment. We think we can do better. And one of the things that have been difficult is the lighting. This is what really changes among developers in different games. That is very true. Like there's, we've seen instances of like how impactful that is. What was it? It was KOF 14. Before they kind of patched it right to that new version that like looked good, right? The shadows looked good, like things weren't as washed out. I remember modders were taking models from the KOF 14 and how they were rendered in that and took them, say, into like Street Fighter 5. Like I remember seeing Angel in Street Fighter 5, like, and how they lit up that game. Same model, nothing's been changed, the textures were not touched, and she looked fucking amazing.
Yep.
I was like, how does this game look like a PS2 game now? But if I took your assets and put them in this, it's because the lighting will be big. So it's really interesting to see that they're being very big sticklers about it. I thought the game already looked really good. I mean, maybe the Asuka face kind of threw me off a little bit, just only slightly. I felt like there wasn't there's not as much contrast in like the girls' faces as to the guys. I don't know if you've noticed that. Someone else did an article on it where they were like the girls in the latest build. Yeah, they took like Xiao Yu, they took Asuka, they took Jun, they took everybody, like Nina, and they showed what their faces were versus like the guys, and like how they have so much more contrast while they're like very flat.
Could it be a little less cartoony or a little less anime faced? You know what I mean? Yeah, because I mean, when I look at Asuka and Xiao Yu in the past and other games, I did look at them in these games and I was like, man, they're looking a little aged.
a little bit.
And Jun just doesn't age. I mean, maybe because she's.
I mean, clearly, she her moves hurt herself and then they heal herself. She can be the fountain of youth for all we know.
So I kind of agree. The game doesn't. It looks visually like next gen, sure, but it doesn't look as like it's the first trailer that came out. The first trailer was beyond what we're seeing, in my opinion. Like the one with the waterfall and the rain and all that. That was.
I remember.
That was
different, something different. But yeah, it's definitely ongoing. But it's really cool to see that they're looking to just continuously push it. Because Tekken still looks great. Like Tekken still looks great.
Yeah.
Like now, Tekken 7 still looks great now. But I mean, I'm just trying to see where the bar is that they're trying to set for Tekken 8. If they're trying to like go, like what game that has some good lighting is MK11. MK11 has some sensational lighting to it. Like it is so good. But you know, seeing that that's like kind of like their biggest pet peeve. Like yeah, getting the proper lighting will definitely change the look of things. Hopefully for the better if you're tweaking it right. But I can see them having, but it's UE5, so it's like the tools that you have available to you is freaking crazy. I don't know if you've been any kind of game developing or ever seen the back ends to it, but UE5 is wild.
But even Injustice 2 was like good, as you're saying, like the lighting. I just constantly think of like all the different stages and just the color aspect. I look at where we've come from, thinking that Injustice 1 looked good, and then Injustice 2 is
God,
like,
no.
Injustice 2 is like, damn.
No.
As much as I love Injustice 1 and the combos, like I would play that game in a heartbeat all over again.
Yeah, but in terms of presentation,
2, oh my goodness,
different.
Oh man. But yes, I'm serious. It still has that. Okay, it's Tekken. Now what?